Welcome to the Repugen Podcast, where we transform patient care. Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we'll be focusing on how to help your practice really thrive in our digital world. We've got some fascinating research and insights all about boosting ROI in today's healthcare landscape. Think of this as your guide to navigating those ever-changing patient expectations and the whole world of online reputation.
And it really is changing so rapidly, isn't it? I think we're seeing like three major shifts that are impacting healthcare businesses. First up, technology and internet access have empowered patients in a way we've never seen before. I mean, they're researching providers and comparing prices and reading reviews. It's a whole new ballgame out there.
Yeah, you're totally right. Patients are coming in armed with so much knowledge already. And then there's the financial side of things too, right? The cost of healthcare is just rising and rising, and it's putting more pressure on patients, so naturally their expectations are higher too.
Exactly. Patients are way more cost conscious these days, but they're also craving a more personalized experience. They don't want to be just another number. You know what I mean? They want to feel heard and valued by their healthcare providers.
It's all about building those real connections, right? And speaking of connections, let's talk about online reviews. It's the first thing most of us do before trying a new restaurant or booking a hotel. And turns out, it's exactly the same for healthcare. A full 73% of patients check out online reviews before choosing a provider.
It's true. We're talking nearly 3/4 of your potential patients are checking out what others are saying about your practice. That's why those positive reviews are so important these days. They're not just a nice little bonus anymore. They're essential for attracting new patients and growing your practice. It's all about that first impression.
That makes total sense. And there's a real financial incentive here too, right?
Absolutely. A Harvard business study actually found that even just a 1-star increase in your online ratings can lead to a 5-9% jump in revenue. That's a pretty big boost to your bottom line, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely something to keep in mind. So we know the landscape is changing, and we know online reputation is super important. So what are some real steps healthcare businesses can take to adapt and thrive in this new world?
Well, we've identified 6 key initiatives that can really make a difference for your practice.
6? Wow. That sounds like a solid plan. Let's break those down one by one. What's the first thing on our list?
Well, it all starts with defining your unique value proposition, or your UVP. What makes your practice stand out from the crowd? Why should patients choose you over all the other options out there?
So it's about figuring out your strengths and making sure you're communicating those to your target audience. How do you actually pinpoint that unique value proposition?
It starts with understanding your ideal patient. Who are you trying to reach? What are their needs and expectations? Then you need to look inwards at your practice. What are you really great at? Do you have a team of highly skilled specialists? Do you offer cutting-edge treatments? Are you known for amazing patient care?
So it's all about figuring out what makes your practice shine. Things like insurance coverage and location matter too, right? Those are big factors for a lot of patients.
They absolutely are. Once you've figured out your unique value proposition, you've got to make sure it's a part of everything you do. From your website to your social media to every single interaction you have with patients, your UVP should be front and center.
All right, UVP message received. What's the second initiative on the list?
Well, think about how much you use your smartphone for everything these days. Searching for info, scheduling appointments, even shopping. It's all happening on our phones.
Oh, you're telling me. I practically live on my phone. How does that connect back to healthcare businesses, though?
Well, studies have shown that 80% of people who use the internet are browsing on their smartphones. And guess what? Your potential patients are part of that 80%. If your website isn't mobile friendly, you could be missing out on reaching most of them.
Yeah, that's a huge chunk of potential patients you don't want to miss. So what are the must-haves for a mobile-friendly website?
First things first, your site needs to be responsive. That means it automatically adjusts to fit any screen size, whether it's a phone, a tablet, or a computer. You also want a clean and uncluttered design with easy-to-navigate menus and clear calls to action. You want people to be able to find what they need quickly and easily on your site.
So no tiny fonts, confusing layouts, or endless scrolling. Got it. Is there anything else healthcare businesses should keep in mind?
Don't underestimate page loading speed. We live in a fast-paced world, and people expect websites to load instantly. If your website takes forever, they're likely to just click away and go to a competitor. No one wants to wait around forever.
Good point. So we've talked about defining your UVP and building a mobile-friendly website. What's the third initiative we need to think about?
So this one is all about making sure your patients are happy and that they keep coming back for more. You know, in today's healthcare landscape, it's so competitive. Monitoring patient satisfaction is absolutely key to success.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Happy patients are more likely to stick around. And they'll recommend you to their friends and family. And of course, they'll leave those glowing online reviews we were just talking about.
Exactly. And there's research to back this up. A Harvard business study found that even a small 5% increase in patient retention can boost profits by a huge 25% or more. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's a big difference. So how can healthcare businesses actually keep track of patient satisfaction?
The best way is to go right to the source. Gather feedback directly from your patients. This could be through surveys, or encourage them to leave online reviews, or even just having those casual conversations during their appointments.
It sounds like creating a culture where patients feel comfortable sharing their experiences is really important, both good and bad. But once you have all that feedback, what do you do with it?
Well, you need to analyze it carefully. Look for any recurring themes or areas where you could improve. Are there a lot of complaints about long wait times? Or confusing billing procedures, maybe a lack of communication from the staff? It's all about figuring out those pain points and then taking steps to address them.
So it's not enough to just collect feedback. You have to actually use it to make real changes in your practice.
Exactly. And don't forget to actually respond to patient feedback, especially those negative reviews. Taking the time to acknowledge concerns and offer solutions can turn an unhappy patient into a loyal one.
It shows that you really care and that you're committed to making things right. Okay, so that's number 3 on our list. What's next?
This one goes hand in hand with what we've been talking about. Developing a really strong reputation management strategy. Remember that stat we talked about? 73% of patients are looking at online reviews before they even call to make an appointment. You can't just ignore your online reputation in today's digital world.
So what does a good reputation management strategy actually look like for a healthcare practice?
First, you have to be actively monitoring your online reviews across all the different platforms. Google, Yelp, HealthGrades, ZocDoc, all of them. You need to know what people are saying about you, both good and bad. Then you have to respond to those reviews, especially the negative ones. Addressing those concerns head on and offering solutions shows potential patients that you are engaged and committed to patient satisfaction.
It's all about being transparent and showing that you're listening to what people have to say. What about proactively getting those positive reviews?
That's super important too. You want to encourage your happy patients to share their experiences online. Send out email campaigns, have prompts in your office, include links on your website and social media. Make it as easy as possible for them to talk about your practice. And keep in mind that those recent reviews carry more weight. Aim for a steady stream of positive testimonials to keep your online reputation fresh and up to date.
Got it. Monitor, respond, generate. Anything else we need to think about for reputation management?
You also want to make sure you've claimed and optimized your business listings on all the relevant review sites. Make sure your business info is accurate, consistent, and current. This helps your visibility in search results so potential patients can actually find you.
Makes sense. What else?
And don't forget to actually use the data from those reviews to your advantage. Analyze the feedback to find any recurring trends or issues you need to address. Turn those online reviews into valuable insights to help you improve patient experience and ultimately boost your bottom line.
So we're using those reviews as a tool to always be getting better. All right, we're on to number 5 now. What do we have?
Okay, so we've touched on this a little bit already, but let's go deeper into patient engagement. Engaged patients are happy patients. Happy patients are more likely to be loyal and satisfied, and they'll tell everyone about your practice. It's all connected.
It definitely feels like a natural progression from reputation management. So what does it actually mean to be really engaged with your patients?
It's about going beyond just treating them when they're sick. It's about building those relationships and giving patients the tools to take an active role in their own healthcare. Meaningful interactions even outside of those scheduled appointments.
So proactive communication is key here.
Exactly. And here's a stat that shows why patient engagement is so important. Research has shown that disengaged patients are twice as likely to delay care and 3 times more likely to have medical needs that aren't being met.
Wow. That really shows how important this is. Patient engagement isn't just about convenience or customer service. It can really have a direct impact on their health. So what are some things healthcare businesses can do to improve patient engagement?
Technology can be a game changer here. Think about automated appointment reminders, 2-way texting online portals. All in one place, patients can access their records, schedule appointments, and communicate with their providers.
Yeah, that kind of access and convenience would be huge for patients. Anything else?
Don't underestimate the power of sharing valuable content with your patients. Send out educational newsletters, blog posts, or post helpful health info on social media. It keeps patients informed and engaged with your practice, and it shows you're a trusted resource for all things health.
It's about building that relationship beyond the exam room.
Exactly. And remember to reach out to patients who haven't been seen in a while. A quick phone call or email encouraging them to schedule a checkup can go a long way. It shows you care about their well-being and that you're invested in their long-term health.
Okay, so we're down to the last one on our list. What's number 6?
All right, so this last one is all about making sure everything we've talked about is actually working for you. It's about tracking your performance and seeing the results.
Right. It's not enough to just do these things.
Yeah.
We need to know if they're making a real difference. So what does tracking performance actually look like in the healthcare world?
Well, it's about keeping a close eye on the key metrics. Things like how many new patients you're getting, what it costs to get each new patient, your online review ratings, and of course, your overall patient satisfaction scores. Data is king, you know?
Yeah, I can see how that data can help you fine-tune your approach, see what's working well and what needs to be adjusted.
Absolutely. And remember, this isn't a one-time thing. You have to constantly track your performance because the healthcare landscape is always changing, and you need to be able to change and adapt along with it.
Okay, so we've covered a lot today. 6 key initiatives to help healthcare businesses not just survive, but really thrive in our digital world. But I'm noticing a common thread running through all of them.
You're picking up what we're putting down. You're right. While each of these initiatives is important on its own, they really work best when they all work together. It's about creating a healthcare experience that really puts the patient front and center.
That makes a lot of sense. It's easy to get caught up in all the tech and data in our increasingly digital world. But we can't forget that healthcare is ultimately about people.
I totally agree. It's about building those real human connections, creating trust, and treating each patient with empathy and respect. It's about remembering that behind every interaction, every online review, every data point, there's a real person with real needs.
So how do we bring it all together? How do we combine the power of technology with that human touch that's so essential?
Well, that's where we come in. Repugen isn't just a platform to manage your online reputation. It's a tool that helps you create a healthcare experience that is both effective and deeply human.
So it's about more than just those reviews. It's about using the feedback to make a better experience for everyone.
Exactly. By making it easier to manage your online reputation. Repugen frees up your time and energy so you can focus on what really matters your patients. It helps you understand their needs and tailor your approach to create a more personalized and empathetic experience for them.
It's like we're using technology to bridge the gap, make those connections more meaningful.
That's the goal. And those positive reviews you get, they become more than just ratings. They show the heart of your practice. They tell a story of care and compassion, a story of a healthcare team that truly goes above and beyond for their patients.
And those stories matter to potential patients. It builds trust and confidence before they even walk through your door.
So to wrap things up, I think the takeaway here is this. Embrace the power of the digital world. But don't lose sight of what's most important, the human element. Use technology to improve your practice, connect with your patients on a deeper level, and build a reputation that truly reflects the care and compassion you provide.
Really well said. And remember, Repugen is here to help you every step of the way. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening to the Repugen Podcast, your path to better healthcare.